this is the Felt DUALe. It's kind of that play on words, double E for electric. It's one of the top of the line off-road bikes they're offering for 2015, and really, pulls from their racing heritage with lightweight, stiff, just solid components, frame design, and you really feel it when you ride this thing. It comes in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, but all of them have through axles, actually a little bit wider in the rear. That creates added stiffness, so when you're going down a hill on this thing, or maybe you're taking the wheel on and off, you're not going to have alignment issues that you might with a skewer. It just adds to the overall rigidity of the bike. Quick release front and rear, 180 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes, Shimano SLX. You can see the rotor right there. Great stopping power, and they match. I've seen some other electric bikes where the rotors are different sizes, and that's kind of threw me off a little bit. I love how all of the component group here is kind of, it only attaches in this one place. It's all grouped together. It really looks beautiful, and it keeps the cockpit clean up here. One of the cool things about it actually is you've got this quick adjust seat post here, RockShox reverb. So if you're going off jumps, you're bombing a hill, you can drop the seat a little bit and you can go up and down with your body. Or if you're climbing, maybe you're going for speed or something like that, you can raise the seat post instantaneously to accommodate your pedal cadence, that kind of thing. Just a really easy to use bike, but high quality in every respect. Looking at the frame on this thing, you might notice all the welds really kind of overdone. And down here where the motor is attached, CNC'd, so this isn't quite as heavy as something that's cast, right? And some of the other Felt bikes are cast, but not this one or the Lebowski. This is CNC'd, and it cuts down on the weight. So for a full suspension bike, this thing is just like extremely lightweight, 43 to 46 pounds, depending on which size. Again, small, medium, or large. That's just awesome to see. They've put some basic platform pedals on here, but I actually like these while we're looking at them. It's worth calling out. They've got good surface area. They're just kind of plastic, but fairly grippy, and they've been good for demoing this bike and taking that on the trails. The tires, as you can see here, 27.5, so that's the 650V standard, 2.35 inch. So, got a great traction patch there. They're a little bit wider than, say, a 26 inch, but they're not quite as big as a 29er, and you avoid clipping your toe for that reason, which I appreciate. The tires themselves are Knobby Nicks Schwalbe right there. Pretty good stuff. And I guess, again, the quick release is a big benefit on a bike like this. If you really are taking it off-road, and you can see this one's been shredding pretty hard today, that outdoor demo day, Interbike 2014, and people are taking them down those steep peaks and stuff all around, really beating these bikes up, and they're holding up quite well. So the people back at the booth who are servicing them can swap the wheels on and off really quickly, change flats if they need to, because it's a mid-drive. It's a lot easier. There's quick release front and rear. So the mid-drive system that is in use here is the Bosch Generation 2 Centerdrive. It's a 350 watt geared mid-motor, and it pulls the chain, same chain that you pedal with. And you're leveraging these 10 speeds in the rear, the Shimano DUALe XT. Those are controlled by this nice trigger shifter up top. Again, attached very cleanly right there, just with that single clamp. So if you're climbing, you can downshift to a lower gear and spin a little bit faster and get more leverage. And as you do that, so too does the motor benefit. And that's really the huge benefit of using a mid-drive. But if you're taking jumps, and you're getting pretty extreme with a bike like this, keeping the weight low and center like you see here is also a huge benefit. So I think they've chosen well with their partnering with Bosch, because they have arguably like the best center drive system on the market. The battery pack, you can see right there, it is removable, locks to the frame. Kind of see right there. When you unlock it, this is kind of like a little handle, you can carry it around, and you can charge it on or off the bike, and that makes it convenient for storing the bike, storing the battery, moving the bike. It makes the bike a lot lighter, even lighter than it already is for some car racks, and it works pretty well. So it's the PowerPack 400, that's 400 watt hours, 36 volts, 11 amp hour capacity. It's a little bit above average, and frankly, because you're getting a lot of efficiency with that Centerdrive, it lasts quite well, and there's even a range indicator on the display. So the way this bike works is you turn on the console here, which by the way is removable. You just slide it off like that, and I love that, frankly, if you're leaving the bike outside or have to park it at work, if you're using this as a commuter some of the time. Yeah, you can pop it right off. It is backlit, but it's a monochrome display. Right now you can see the range is estimated at 18 miles. We're in sport, and if I arrow down to like tour, we get 22 mile range. If I arrow down to eco, 43 mile range. So you can really see how changing the level of assistance can extend your range, and being able to get that information on the fly helps you to use this bike, I guess, without fail. You know, you're not gonna have to worry about running out of power the same way that you might with others that aren't as sophisticated. Other information in this display is your odometer, your trip distance, there's a clock, and max speed and average speed. So lots of information here, but really it's dominated by your speed and your battery indicator, and this one's at like 4 out of 5 bars. So very good system, same as all the other Bosch systems, with this nice little breakout box that is a little bit blocked by this RockShox like instant seat post adjuster, but still reachable. And that's important, you know, when you're riding off-road and extreme environments where there might be loose gravel or a cliff or something. It's nice to be able to adjust on the fly and be able to interact with your bike quickly, but also to have the system itself be responsive, and that is something Bosch is really known for. So when you pedal this thing, it's measuring the torque that you're applying with your muscles, it's measuring the speed that you're pedaling, or cadence, and it's measuring the speed that the bike goes. So you can see this little magnet here, and then there's a receiver there on the left chainstay. It uses all of that information to activate or deactivate the motor. So as soon as you stop pedaling, this bike kind of stops. You know, it's not going to accidentally take you a little too far and create a dangerous situation. So I love that. While we're back here, I should say they've put a lot of effort into the suspension design of this bike. I mean, any bike should be, I guess, in my opinion, you know, well, for an extreme bike like this that's going in pretty rigorous terrain, you want to think about how the frame is designed to account for the added stresses and weight of a motor, of a battery pack. And they've done that, and they've done it really well with the rear suspension. So the kinematics of how this is designed and how the suspension activates with the added weight here is something they took into account. And I can feel that, like going over the bumps and stuff, it's very like, it feels like my body is going up and down in place. It's not like tilting like that. And that's kind of cool. That's cool. And you notice the lightness of this bike compared to some others, and definitely worth riding, but it is a more expensive electric bike. It's like MSRP about $5,800. Kind of get what you pay for. It's definitely a performance company, whether you're going electric or not, and you know, that's reflected with all the components and things that we see here. The suspension has about 130 millimeters of travel on the front and the rear. We've got lockout. It's air suspension, so super light. Good stuff. And again, there's that through axle. It's going to give you that added stiffness and ease of swapping the wheels on and off. I think that's about it. It's just a good overview of what's being offered here with the Felt DUALe. I'm going to go ahead and hop on this thing, try to show you the motor a little bit, let you see what it sounds like when you take this thing off-road. So I'm going to start off in, I guess, maybe eco mode, and then I'm going to arrow up and go all the way up to turbo. Just a nice little patch of terrain there. I'm gonna cruise down this. top speed on this bike is 20 miles per hour, speed limited. Whew. But when you're off-road, it feels like you're going pretty fast. A lot of fun there in that little segment. One of the other neat things about shifting on the Bosch system is that it automatically has shift detection. Basically, when you shift, it kind of lets up off the drive, because otherwise you can end up mashing gears and mangling your chain. So yeah, pretty sophisticated. Definitely noticeable when you're going through all the different speeds. Hopefully you can see how quickly the chain is responding when I stop pedaling. That's what I'm talking about when you're on, again, loose gravel. It's just important for the system to respond to you. There is no throttle on this electric bike. There are some electric bikes that have both throttle and assist. The benefits of that are, you have a less complex system. You don't have to worry about accidentally twisting the throttle if you're getting a little nervous going down a steep patch. And really, this is performing more like a bicycle. Well, that is the Felt DUALe electric bike. For the full specs on this, the written review, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com.